Hello, hello, welcome back to episode 3 of Shoutcast Stories. In the last episode, we were joined by the one and only Puffle Bob, and now in this episode, I am joined by a very local Scottish legend of MarkOfGee. How are you doing, bud?
I am doing fantastic. I really appreciate the opportunity to come along and speak with yourself in these episodes. Watched the last couple and they've been fantastic to watch. So fingers crossed, this one's just as nice to watch for everybody else as well.
Hopefully, it's the same sort of entertaining that we've seen in the last two. I know it will be. You've
Sure.
got a very big CV. You've done a
Ah,
lot. It's a fairly good CV. It's got its what's the word I'm looking for? It's got its. I'm just out of words. It's a good CV. It's great. But yeah, no, just for people that don't know you, who are you?
yeah. So first of all, I'm Mark of G. I'm a caster slash talent, however you wish to class it as well, because I've been in the scene only a small amount of time really, but just been kind of building up into trying to get as much of casts out there as possible. A lot more talent stuff, even if it's presenting and stuff like that, events and stuff as well. So just that's pretty much me. I've been streaming for quite some time as well as and creating some content here and there for different games. However, nothing ever really peaks the numbers we want to be peaking though, as a
Mm-hmm.
I can class that as a full-time job, sadly. But yeah, it's something I do as a hobby. I really enjoy doing it, and gaming's always been a massive thing in my life as well. So for years and years, I've watched esports and played games and such like. So it's just been one of these things where what, jump on the bandwagon here and try. Well, I say bandwagon, not much of a bandwagon, but jump on it and try and get into the kind of casting side of things, which is what I really enjoy to kind of get a part of.
Yeah, you might as well just have a fair whack at it, right? Like everyone's got the same sort of chances, and everyone sort of has the same similar sort of beginning. Loving games, then eventually branching off into esports, being like, hey, let me have a wee whack at yapping and see how I do over this. Um,
I can do that.
yeah, that's. I mean, we're all pretty good at yapping, but we're converting it into games, which a lot of people don't see as a career. But myself and you, we have had plenty of opportunities to make it to somewhat of a career. Obviously, you mentioned it being like a little bit of a hobby, but you get the occasional side gig that offers a little bit of cash, and it's like it's quite nice. Doesn't come along
Mhm.
often though, but when it does, it's quite nice to see that hit the bank account just for yapping. It's great, but how so casting? How did you get into it? Because everyone's story is a little bit different, right? Obviously, you mentioned gaming. That's like you love to do that, and then you just kind of had a whack at it. But if you go like more in depth, how did you actually get into it? What was the game that you first got into?
Well, casting, strangely enough, came in during COVID time for me. We were playing a game that a lot of people probably don't even know about, to be fair. It's one of these MMORPG kind of games. It's called Conqueror's Blade. So I was
Hmm.
playing that for God knows how long. I was about 10,000 hours in the game. They do like an esports scene that they've been doing, like some competitions, and they've been trying to get their like overall. It's called the CBL, so it's the Conquerors Blade League, and they were like looking for casters and looking for some of the players, and I was part of the content creation team at that point in time for them. And I was like, "Look, I'd love to give it a go at casting. I know the game. I've been playing it for the last few years throughout the whole COVID. Got a lot of hours racked up, and I know it pretty well. I'm not the best player at it, but I am definitely know exactly how to be the best player at it. Just can't put that into situation myself. So I thought, why not get into the opportunity to try and kind of cast the scene? And so I started casting that, and strangely enough, it was just I quite like this. And then they asked me to do it again. So we did that and a few other kind of community casts for that as well. So they
Hmm.
had their own little community competitions. So different people always wanted to start their own tournaments in that game. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it for you. So obviously it's just all just a bit of fun, just there, just get involved as much as possible, learn in and outs of casting, working with different people that I've never really spoke to, or maybe I have played the game with as well, and then going into more depth in terms of the casting. And then it wasn't until really I was like, I might actually start taking this seriously. I started playing FIFA, which, funny enough, well, it's not FIFA, but it's whatever it's called. It's really, I don't
Yeah,
even
yeah,
play
yeah.
it. I've not played it for that long, right? I had played it when it was FIFA. It was
Yeah, same.
but like
I have no idea what it is
FC
now.
24, I think it was the one that I started playing.
Hmm.
Um, just because one of the like I've got a kid who's now 2 year old, but a friend of mine who we met during one of these kids classes was like, "Oh, come and play on our FIFA team," and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll come and play FIFA." So I downloaded FIFA, started playing that with them, and a boy jumped into the Discord who was one part of that like team. So we're doing like 15 versus 15. Oh, no, 11 versus 11 because I'm used to playing rugby, so my brain's thinking 15. So we had 11 people obviously playing in this team, and one of the boys popped in. Sorry, he's like, "Sorry, I've just finished a Call of Duty cast," and I was like, "Call of Duty cast?" Like I have loved Call of Duty from the get go. Right, I
Mm.
played pretty much every single Call of Duty. There was a phase where I took a little bit of a kind of break between playing Call of Duty, but I was like Cold War and such in Vanguard, but after that, like I've got back into it, and he was saying he was casting one, and I was like, where are you casting Call of Duty?" And he sent me in the right direction, and he was like, "Right, there's a few EU leagues that you can get involved in if you wish. It's just amateur leagues, like just pretty much like me, you, a few other like your friends and stuff. They're all playing together in a team. They all start playing through different ranks and divisions, and you'll start from like division 9 or 10 or whatever it is like the lowest division, and they're starting to build their way up, and there's plenty of teams of all strangest names that you could ever imagine in these teams. So I got into it that way and pretty much was like, you know what, I really like this, I'm going to get involved. Pretty much is where it went off, and that's only about a year ago now that that's kicked off. So I think we're getting up to about the year mark, I think, anyway. If I look back at my YouTube for my first ever stream for the cast, which obviously meant you doing everything. So I was doing the production, I'm doing the POV for the observing, and then I'm obviously doing the casting just
Mm-hmm.
on my own. So
Like a
yeah,
one
that's
man
where it kicked
band.
off. Yeah, one man band, controlling everything, having to have stream decks, having to remember what I'm doing, pushing the right
Mm-hmm.
buttons, saying the right things. But it was kind of the way into getting into Call of Duty. And since then, it's kind of just, you know what, I'm going to try and take this a little bit more seriously and look for some more opportunities.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that like we're just coming up on like the 1 year mark and you've already done so much. It kind of shows up like it's kind of esports casting is so accessible once you get started, right? Like it's all about knowing the
Yeah.
networks, like you mentioned. Like you never thought, hey, this random friend of mine is gonna point me in the right direction of COD casting, which I would have. I loved playing COD. Like obviously, the age difference is quite I think it's quite substantial here. I'm not calling you old.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
just a youngin,
I'm
just a
quite
youngin.
substantially older. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You, Puffo, and Hodge have all got yeah,
Got
quite a
that
bit of a gap.
youth. Yeah. But like I
Yeah,
was gonna say like
definitely.
back in my kid days, but I suppose to you I'm still there. But no, like a couple years ago I would love like loading up Black Ops 2, loading up Black Ops 3. Those were like my favorite games. I mean, I was more of a zombies player. I loved that. I don't know if there is like a zombies like esports scene.
Yeah,
I don't
there isn't an
Ooh.
esports scene as far as I'm aware, but there's
Mm.
definitely still the zombies scene out there that are
Yeah.
well and
Yeah.
truly loved, but never been in. I don't think you could ever put that into an esports sort of thing in a way.
Yeah.
Maybe there is a possibility. Maybe it's like speedrun and stuff, but that's probably the only
Probably about
thing
as far as
thing I
it
can think.
goes.
Yeah.
It'd be quite difficult, I suppose, to turn that into like an actual esport. But no, I loved like the Black Ops 2 Transit specifically. That was my go-to. Absolutely loved that. The Easter eggs and stuff. Yeah, man, it brings back good memories. But speaking of COD, right? You have, I believe, like a couple of games under your belt when it comes to casting. So like COD, Apex, and Rocket League. I think like you don't do. Is it
Yeah.
those three?
Yeah, so yeah, Rocket League, Apex. I'm still doing Conqueror's Blade because I did that
Mm.
more recently as well. So there's that game as well that obviously kickstarted the whole casting side of things. But I've been doing Call of Duty Mobile, strangely enough, still Call of Duty, but
Ooh.
I've got into doing that a little bit more, and then Apex, yeah, is the final kind of game to the straw. But there's going to be another one added to that soon enough, and that's going to be CS2, which is going to be an
Mm.
interesting one. That's coming up to a land that we're going to be attending ourselves as well. So
Ooh, Cell
yeah, that's gonna
Six.
be an interesting. Yeah, L6, exactly that. So that's gonna. I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be an
Mm.
interesting side. I've been watching the EWC and watching all the different games really, to be honest, because I don't know if you've seen a post or anything like that on any of my Twitter, but recently we got the OpSpot brand
Yeah,
ambassador.
yeah.
Too.
Mm.
So with that, like they've been doing predictions in their channel, and it's a chance to win like a competition for the
Ooh.
best predictions. So I've been watching loads of EWC,
Mm.
watching loads of different games like Street Fighter, Tekken, everything like that. All these different games that I never thought like I'd ever watch or anything like that, but they've been quite enjoyable to watch. But just because I've got predictions in it to see if my team would win that I predicted, and
Mm-hmm.
if I'm going to gain points to win a competition, so that's been really fun to kind of watch all these different esports and see how esports is kind of grown and grown, especially just now with the EWC on has been phenomenal.
Yeah, EWC is amazing to watch. I get like, first off, before like even going to this EWC rant, what is your team? Who are you backing? I need to know this. This is like, this is do or die.
So it depends on the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Because for the most part, I am also a content creator for Team Nemesis. So Team
Mm-hmm.
Nemesis is my team. Like that is the boys. We're backing them. Apex, whatever it was, CS2, Halo. That's where we're going, right? That's where we put our whole kind of heart into, and that's is why I've got the beautiful
Oh, the
name.
Nemesis plushie.
Ah,
It looks so
my
good. It looks
name.
so comfy.
It is so good. I'm so glad that they actually brought it out as an opportunity as well
Mm-hmm.
for people to buy and stuff because I was like, as soon as that comes available,
So I
I am
need
picking it
this.
up. Yeah, and I've got the jersey as well,
I
but
was
that's
gonna
just
say the
not there.
jersey is so cool. The
I
jersey, the
would have wore it.
design.
But it was in the wash. Oh, so
That's
sweet.
rough. That's rough. But no, so Nemesis for like most things that everything they were in, right? But like,
Everything they're in, yeah. I know they play like other games like Trackmania, Dota 2, and
mhm,
stuff like that. These are games that I don't really know. Like I've
yeah,
never really watched, but yeah, like Team Nemesis all the way.
that's sick. I can't lie. I was watching. I just watched the phenomenal G2 run for Siege. That was wild. That had me on the edge of my seat the entire time. You can't see it, but I'm wearing the G2 jersey. That wasn't on purpose, but no, I was watching that incredible G2 run.
So is that your go-to team then? Is it G2 as well, or have you got other teams dependent on the sport?
I mean, I was a big BDS lover. I can't lie. I flew out to Geneva to do like a BDS like shoot thing for their massive launch of their SI Boston jersey for Siege. That was great. BDS was my team, and then the roster got bought out by Falcons, and I don't know if it's in my heart to follow Falcons. I don't know. They're just like a
I
very
mean, seems to
controversial
be the best
team.
best at the moment in time for the majority of the games that are out there. So, I mean, it's not a
Yeah.
bad. Although I can't lie, they've got the back and they've got the support, and they're smashing it. Especially EWC, where they obviously won the overall championship and got that extra money towards themselves for the amount of games that they've obviously entered. It makes it a little bit easier, but like because I've got different games that I like support, like Apex, obviously
Mhm.
Team Nemesis is part of that. But one game that they're not going to be involved in, I can't see it just because of the franchise, and is Call of Duty. I've always been an Optic fan, so
Right. Yeah.
oh, Screen Wall, everybody's a fan of Optic, of course they are. But yeah, Optic's been my go-to for the Call of Duty side of things, and obviously Call of Duty is
Mhm.
kind of a big thing in my kind of casting side. So
Yeah, I feel
been
like
good.
the old conversation was Optic versus FaZe. I think that's. I'm not big into like the COD esports team, but sure, like it was always Optic or FaZe. I never heard anyone like back another team.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, nowadays you've got a few good teams out there now. 100 Thieves have been a powerhouse
Mm.
of a team as well recently as well, which they're obviously in multiple different esports as well. So they're throwing their name about here, and so are Optics slowly getting into different things. Obviously with them and Halo, that's their two kind of go tos. So even though I'm an Optic fan for Call of Duty, I'm not an Optic fan for the Halo side, although it has got a former Call of Duty player in it, Formo as well. So I mean, I suppose there's kind of a wee bit of I like Optic, but it's normally Optic that teams seems to win these Halo competitions as well. It's either
Hmm.
that or Shopify. So I mean, you've got to kind of back one of the other ones. Nemesis isn't far behind them. They have beat Optic a few times, but
Ooh,
it's
catching up.
not the grand finals. They're not at the
Hmm.
grand finals. Halo's obviously taking a break, so
Oh,
this is the last year of Halo esports for at least a year minimum. But
right. Okay.
we'll see what happens with players. There'll still be local stuff, I assume, and people will start to put other events on
Hmm.
just to try and keep the Halo scene going and all of the Halo like players because I don't know what they're going to do otherwise unless they jump to another esport, which
Yeah.
sometimes you see that happen quite a bit.
Oh yeah. Of course. There's got to be the transferable skills. I think I've played like one Halo game in my entire life. I was never a big Halo lover, but it's still an
I was a Halo
FPS.
fan when I was about 14, I think, but that was about 20 years ago. Sorry.
Oh.
Well, yeah, 20 years ago. That's horrible.
Yeah, I wasn't even born 20 years ago. That's wild. That's crazy. I mean, hey, if you come back and say that in God, what are we in now? We're in August. If you come back and say that in 2 months' time, I would have been born. So you're good. You're good. I'm reaching
Yeah.
that 20. I feel like it just
It's so scary.
it's so scary. I feel like it just all goes downhill. That's all I've been told. It's just as soon as you hit 20, like it just plummets.
Well, the fact that we're from Dundee,
Hmm.
I could almost say that I'm almost old enough to be your dad if it was in Dundee. So, I mean, that's saying something, right?
That is saying something. Yeah, it's true to the Dundee culture, if you will. You're
Yeah,
sticking.
exactly. It's not a claim to fame whatsoever, but I mean,
Hmm.
it's not unknown.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Dundee is just such a wild place. But hey, at least the esports scene is kind of starting to thrive, right? With obviously Cell around the corner. Speaking of, you were at Dundee Angus College before. Was that for the Invitational?
Yeah, so the SAL Invitational, I was there. Yeah, it was great to kind of go along and see the whole setup because it's the first time I've seen it. It's the first time I've kind of been into a venue like that as
Hmm.
well. So, like, I've never been to like a live LAN. I've never been to one as even as a spectator or anything like that. As much as I've watched like esports and been in the scene, I've never really went out my way to go live to these events or even Gamescom or anything like that. Any of these big events which kind of showcase esports on a live stage and stuff. So that's been interesting to go there for the first time. So I got to see their setup and obviously the broadcast room, their caster suite, all the different bits where they have the setups and obviously they run their course, which is obviously fantastic to see an esports course being done in Dundee.
Hmm.
Local to us, which well, it's the best thing I like could come to the scene because big games from Dundee, like call well with none other than Grand Theft Auto. I mean, so
Yeah,
why not
exactly.
get something like an esports thing kind of kicked off here as well, and hopefully that keeps growing and obviously it gets more people and more attraction as things progress every year, which is I'm looking forward to hoping that that will be the case. And we have had chats where there's chances of like, oh, look at this esports arena that we're going to build in Dundee, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's not going to happen, but I'd love it to.
Don't get me started on the false promises of hey, it's gonna happen, and maybe not. Oh, the capacity is getting substantially smaller, and then it's yeah, it's not happening. Oh, it's a it's a nightmare to work with. But you know, Dundee, it's nice to see something like that happen in Dundee and not like Glasgow or Edinburgh, because that's like as soon as
Yeah,
you think of Scotland, you go oh Glasgow, oh Edinburgh, even Aberdeen. I don't want to say it, even Aberdeen a little bit before Dundee. So it's nice to see that like oh, we're the first ones in Scotland to get that course, and then we've got the facilities, and I mean that gave
yeah,
you your first LAN experience as well, which is
yeah,
a
yeah, very much, yeah.
it's quite a nice thing to see. It's local as well. You didn't have to travel far, so not too bad. But obviously you're going back again in September. Myself and you are going to be casting over Rocket League, which is going
Yeah,
to be
it's gonna be fun.
good fun. I'm actually really excited for it. I didn't get to watch the online qualifier much, but how did that go? I'm just
I
wondering.
mean,
I need to know for
no,
this.
it was actually really good. The online qualifier was casting it with Aaron, who
Mm,
strangely enough doesn't really do Rocket League, but he was obviously running the scene and running the whole the show as well. So yeah, it was good. It was good fun. A lot of different levels of like abilities in the teams and stuff. So
yeah.
definitely wavers towards like certain teams, but the top four that went into it are looking good. So I'm sure that the semi-finals and finals at the event will be a fantastic show, and obviously the team that won it in the Invitational will be there as well. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing if it's going to be a closer competition. I know I keep ranting and raving about Can all the time that he's Can
Yeah.
on
Mhm.
demand. I can't wait to see him and how he performs in person, which is going to be fun because I've seen him in RSC and I've been obviously casting them there and stuff as well. So it's been good to see him kind of go through the ranks and see if he's just as good as he is online as he is at a LAN event. So that's
Yeah.
always a
You
bonus.
Because Alan is so different. Like Alan is like you sit there, you've got everyone watching you, you have
Looking
the
across
completely
their
different
enemy, like,
yeah, you
oh,
can look across, you can jump up, you can shout whatever you want, I suppose. Like it's so like nerve-wracking, right? And even as a caster, like we can just sit here comfortable in our own rooms, just give it our all, shout at the microphone, but then you get on a LAN setting and you're like, "Oh, everyone's looking at me." Like there's these big cameras, these big lights, photography's happening, like it's so it's all scary, but like it's definitely nerve-wracking, right?
oh, 100%. Like it is such a good vibe. I enjoyed it every single minute of it. Obviously, at the invitational, your booth's nowhere near where like the guys are. Nobody sees you really. There's only the kind of little kind of playing area where the spectators and stuff were
Mhm.
because well, the observer, sorry, were in, they can see you. So most of the time when you're, because it go as wild as you wish. It was almost like being online anyway. But yeah, when you're in like the actual LAN setting, and some like the one I was down in Stoke for a Call of Duty LAN for my first like full LAN where they had spectators, a full scene that was through the Staffordshire University,
Yeah.
and that setup is like
It's
Dundee's is great, but
phenomenal.
that one's just a little bit better, right? It's just a little bit better. They've definitely spent a hell of a lot of money on it.
Mhm.
It is crazy, but it is so good. It just felt like being at a live like proper official like pro event, like just the way it was set up. They also had seats and stuff for spectators to be there. So when I'm casting, I'm literally right next to where the players were playing, so they can see me in the corner. Then I can see them. I can see their reactions. I can see the spectators' reactions. And then obviously when I'm giving it big wigs and big lugs and speaking away and giving up that hype energy, you can see the spectators doing the exact same, and they're getting behind you. So it's nerve wracking, but you know what? It gives it so much more fun, so much more of a vibe, and kind of gets you into a flow as well.
Mhm.
I feel like you kind of lock in, and you're like, right, it's to entertain these people.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna mention that Staffordshire LAN, because I went down there not too long ago, like probably a year ago now. But it's funny you say that because I was in a completely different room. I was like isolated. I was isolated from all the spectators. I had the view of like a couple of plants, a couch. I didn't get
Oh,
the
were you
same
nice?
sort of
You were
vibe.
nice in the podcast room, were you?
Yeah, yeah, we were chucked away in there and thrown away. I suppose we didn't get to see the audience, but like we heard it somehow through all those big like doors that you had to
Yeah.
use key
Was that
cards to
was
get
that
through.
for casting as well?
Yeah, yeah, that was for a Rainbow Six Siege community LAN.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah,
Yeah,
not
they
too
did quite a bit
shabby.
down there for sure.
Mm,
They definitely did quite a bit.
they did
Busy,
so
busy team.
much. Yeah, it's such a great arena. Like obviously DNA's facilities are like great. They're fine. They do the work, and you still get that sort of level of hey, look, I'm casting at a live event. But going down to then University of Staffordshire in Stoke and then seeing that was like a whole different ball game. That was like, oh
Mhm.
wow, these people have money. Like this is just money's been chucked at this, and they know what they're doing with it. The huge like massive screens that had all the like graphics on
Yeah,
it. It was
and
just
and stuff. And on the front desk, they've got all the
mm,
player cams and everything. I was like, oh, this is so good. It's so professional. And they've got their own wee like presenter stage as well, where they're standing up and they're getting the pre-talk before the games kick off, and then you got your caster booth. Right, yeah, it's a great setup. The cameras as well that they've got on it. It's just like multi. I don't even know, millions must have been spent for
that
sure.
has
Like,
to be, yeah,
there's
that was
yeah,
crazy.
there's no way that, that you're undervaluing the price of the setup, the lights, and everything as well. Like it is a crazy setup. But you know what? The most important thing about the land that I kind of really got back from that is like
Mhm,
you're going down and you've been casting these people online. You don't know their faces. You've never seen them in real life. You don't know their real names. You just know their gamer tag, right? And you go down there. They know who you are. They know who you look like because they've seen
mhm.
you on camera and you're always on show. So that they're like, oh, you're MarkOfGee, aren't you? I was like, yeah. It's like, oh, you casted me on Division 7, this so and so, this game for this team. I'm like, oh, did it? It's like, yeah. Oh, it was a great cast. Loved it. I was like, oh, cheers, man. Appreciate it. So you try to like put a face to a name that you've
Yeah.
just casted over. And you're like, this is absolutely wild. And you feel like almost a celebrity in some sort of way. You're not a
Mhm.
celebrity, but they never ask for autographs, sadly. But maybe they need to because next time you never know. I might be famous, but
Yeah,
that's
maybe,
the
maybe.
goal. You want to be one of these tier ones casters if
Mhm.
you possibly can be. It's not going to be easy, but yeah, if you put the effort in, you can definitely get a scene around your different scenes that you're in. Like if you're predominantly like rock you're Rainbow Six yourself, so like
Mhm.
a lot of Rainbow Six players and stuff that have heard you cast, I'm sure they know who you are as well. So when you went to these lands, they'll be like, oh yeah, you're lucky, I've had you cast me before in another game or another event or whatever. So it's always good to see that people kind of appreciate you for what you're doing, even if it's just kind of amateur scene and they're kind of just putting on a show for them and getting them some exposure, even if they're just like lower level players, they're still getting a kind of scene in some way or form and getting some people watching them, which is daunting to say the least, but also fun.
Oh, it's very like I had so many memories like that as well. I went to Battle for Glasgow. Surely you've heard of Battle for Glasgow being
Yeah, I
Scottish.
have. Yeah, I've. You know what? Like when the whole call, like the whole of me getting into casting kicked
Mhm.
off. I don't even remember how many discords I was like looking for. I was finding as
Yeah.
much information as I possibly could on all these different people, seeing names around there that were casters, and then just reaching out to everything and everybody, and obviously the Glasgow scene in such like that, universities and stuff like that, who are continually doing esports stuff because a lot of universities seems to be kind of on that go forward that they've got an esports scene slash also collegiate teams and stuff.
Mhm.
So that's massive to kind of get yourself into it as well because they're always looking for help and support and maybe even uh, giving help to even people that aren't just in the college, which is always good as well. So for me, it's got me a little bit more exposure and a little bit more practice to say the least as well.
Yeah, the collegiate scene in Scotland is crazy. Everyone loves their games. Like just going to battle for Glasgow, the vibe there and like the energy. Even on days where like I wasn't casting, I was in the crowd, I was getting right into it. Like I don't even play League of Legends that much, but I'm sitting there like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? The Scottish scene is incredible. I had such like similar moments to you. I was casting Overwatch, and I don't really know Overwatch that well. I'm not very good at it, but I was a last minute, sub me in, coach. I suppose I'll try my
Yeah.
best. Um, I remember just stepping outside of the venue, and then this big group of people. I'm like 5'4", by the way, just so that you can picture this. I'm like five. I'm not tall whatsoever, and all these big, massive, just burly university men. They just surround me, and they're like, "Yo, you're like it, right? You casted this and this and that." And I'm like, "Yo, what is this? I feel like this is so surreal. I feel like a celebrity almost. It's kind of
Yeah.
crazy, but the community is just so nice. Esports, like genuinely, it sounds cringe, but it brings people together. And like you're saying, you're trying to
Yeah.
put faces to names, and it was just one of those things that, oh my god, like this is surreal. People know me. I'm actually doing something, I suppose, rather than just I'm yapping at my computer at home.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. The weird thing about it is like no matter how much people play games and such like and stuff, and an online facade they put on, there's so many people that you know and you've heard them saying stuff online and they're yapping
Mhm.
over the microphone. But see, when you see them in person, they do not say a word. They barely whisper to you. They're like too scared to kind of intimidate them online, like online, because it's like. You spoke all this online, but online you're not saying nothing. So it's
Yeah.
really interesting to see like how the personas change when you're meeting them in person and you realize it's actually a 5'4" player, like you said there yourself. I don't know about that size, and then they've
Mhm.
got this 7 foot player that's like never be said a word to anybody. He's the nicest guy ever, and you just see him, you're like, oh my god, I ain't gonna speak to him. I don't care how much I spoke to him online.
Yeah.
I did not say this about you or anything. Like you're the greatest player alive, but I mean,
Please
yeah,
leave me
it's
alone.
it's surreal. It is surreal. Like it definitely brings a lot of people together. And you know what? It's with that Stoke clan down at Staffordshire, like it's from everywhere as well. Like we had
Mm.
people flying in to come to this event. They were in from like Denmark, Switzerland. You've got players from we had an Italian side there as well. You know what?
Mm.
It was great. Like didn't really speak very. Well, some of the Italian players didn't really speak very much English either. So
Yeah.
like for them, that's like an experience where they're coming to a place where it's mostly predominantly English speaking players. So yeah, for them that must have been a surreal experience as well, but also one that I'm sure they'll remember.
Oh yeah, of course. Like we obviously you mentioned you listened to the last one. Had Pufflebomb fly in from Slovenia. I think it's Slovenia. He's
Yeah,
gonna kill me from
Slovenia. Yeah, it's
Slovenia.
Slovenia.
Yeah, good, good. Oh, I always get like all those countries like mixed. I'm horrible at geography. I
There's so many
never
to
took
be
it.
fair in
Yeah,
Europe
there
too.
there
It's
is like so many in Europe. Like 47. Who
mm,
needs that many countries? I think it's 47. Don't quote me.
probably not.
Yeah, he flew in from Slovenia, and it was great. It's so weird to like see, I casted with him for so long, and then it's like, oh, this
Yeah,
is you in person. Damn, this is like, I've now got to get you. I knew him as a person, of course, but like, I've now got
yeah, yeah.
to get to know you as a person properly, and it's surreal, but it's great because like you feel like, hey, I've known this guy like my whole life almost, and now he's right here in the flesh, all 6'2" of him or something, powering over me. um, but that's esports
Yeah,
is
he's
so
a tall,
great.
he's a tall young lad. He definitely is
Mm,
a tall young lad. I've not met him in person, but I have been told how tall he is, and I was like, wow. He sounds like his voice as well is great to listen to. Right, Puffle,
mm-hmm.
I love him. Like I've casted alongside him as well a few times as well, which has been an experience. And like you would not think by listening to him that he was 19-year-old either. So I was like, Jesus,
Yeah,
boy, you've got a better sounding, manlier voice than me. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's
putting me
crazy.
in the game, and I'm about 20 years older than you almost. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, well, speaking of obviously co-casters and whatnot, a little fun thing. A couple of quick fire questions, if you will. Same thing with Pufflebop, same thing with Hodge. I'm gonna throw you under it as well, just for the fun of
Yeah,
it. So, I mean, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to just go
I think
quick
I'm
think on
ready.
your feet? Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go. I'm a quick thinker, I think.
Mm-hmm. Good, good, good. Right. One caster who you deal with forever if you had to.
If I had to, it'd have to be Maven from Call of Duty because he is so fun to watch and listen to. That I feel like
Mm-hmm.
it'd just be a vibe. It'd be absolutely high presenting. He's just hysterical, and he's probably older than me to be fair as well, which is actually a bonus. So I don't feel like the oldest caster or the oldest person in
Yeah.
the room.
Is
That
he
would be
like
fun.
a is he like a pro? Is he? I
Yeah,
don't know
he's
much
a
about the
tier one.
right. Hmm.
He's a tier one caster for the COG. He's been doing it for umpteen years now, probably into double figures, I think, as well. So yeah, he's a very experienced caster. But I think it'd just be so much fun just because of the fun and the vibe that he brings with the show. He's just good. He's just good to listen
Yeah,
to and
of
good to
course.
watch as well.
I love like I'll always have it my favorite. I don't know if you watch much Rocket League, but you're watching EWC, but Jorby,
Yeah, yeah.
good caster. I don't know. Everyone like has their one caster, pro caster that they just kind of like fixate on. Whenever I see that guy casting, I'm like, yo, this is gonna be a great series.
I really like listening to Stumpy when it comes to
Hmm.
casting for Rocket League. He's a good lad as well. So yeah, I can see what you mean. There's definitely the people you're like, "Oh, they're great. Depend on the scene, depend on the whatever game it is and stuff. They've obviously got their one standout caster that everybody likes, but then there's also ones that other people will like just
Hmm.
based off of their vibe. So that's the whole thing about casters, right? You've got different people can take different vibes, different personalities, and it just throws it determines the show for most people as well. I think
Yeah, of course.
whether they
Like
watch or
everyone's
don't.
personality does it, right? Like some people are so chill. Some people are like, I'm just gonna scream and shout. But it's
Yeah,
everyone gravitates towards different people, and I suppose that's the fun of casting. But second question for this little quick fire: one game you love playing, but you would never cast it.
one game I love playing, but I would never cast. To be fair, I don't actually play very many games. To be
Right. Okay.
completely
Okay.
honest,
Yeah.
I'd probably say TFT. Right, I played
Hmm.
Teamfight Tactics. I've enjoyed it. It's obviously based off League of Legends, but never played League of Legends enough. That I don't understand that either. I know that's your go-to, like your one that you would never cast, but you love it,
Yeah.
like to play it. But yeah, I like TFT. I love to play it. Could not tell you why or anything or go into any details about it because I feel like I'm a good player at it, and then I'm really not. So yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
Teamfight Tactics. I've seen it as an esport, so therefore it's the one I wouldn't cast for sure.
Hmm. Yeah. Do you know, I've played I think like one game of it, and I didn't get a single thing, and I was like, yeah, no, that's enough for me. I'm gonna turn this off and go back into my League of
I like the
Legends
fact
top
that it's
lane.
on mobile, so I could just play on
Mm.
my mobile. It's easy.
Yeah.
So
But then League of Legends is on mobile as well. You know, you might have to.
yeah, but that's just so much more overcomplicated. There's a lot more work involved in that, and it's
Mm.
not just a chess game. So an auto chess game, I'm like, yeah, everything else does it itself. I just put things in a position, and that's it. Like, hope for the best.
You just hope that your formation is good enough, and yeah, no, I
Yeah,
can't
the
get
right
past it.
characters, the right synergies, yeah, the
Hmm.
right.
It's
Yeah,
such a confusing game.
it definitely is confusing, but some players make it look so easy.
Yeah, I
Guess that's why
know.
they're pros.
Yeah, I suppose so. Eh. Um, One last question. You don't have to be as quick fire with this one, but a lot of people have a pre-cast ritual or a pre-cast routine that they do to kind of get into the swing of things. So, do you have
Yeah,
one? What is it?
I, I it depends, right?
Mm.
Because it depends on where we're doing it for. So if we're doing a cast online, sometimes it's like I have got like 10 minutes to get ready for it, so there's very little time to prep and
Yeah.
plan it. You're kind of getting everything on set up and everything, and then you want to try and make sure you're hydrated. For one, is definitely what I have to do. Make sure the voice is done. I do always have a little lip balm
Ooh.
beside me because supposedly that's good to keep your lips moving and not sticking to each other. So when you are in
Mm.
full cast, there is no like stutters. Doesn't really help me for stuttering because I'm a massive stutterer, unintentionally. But I think I get so hyped and energy that I forget my brain thinks slower than my mouth does. So
Yeah, forget how to
that
how
makes
to
it a little
speak.
bit. I'm like, what was I saying? But yeah, lip balm that, and one that I always bring, especially if it's a LAN event and
Mhm.
you're doing it for hours, or if you're doing a long cast over like pretty much 10-hour cast. Sometimes I've done a few ones online like that in the room, and it's vocal zones, right? They
Right.
are phenomenal. Like probably the best thing ever to have. Oh, oh,
Oh,
oh,
there's the obs bot. It's working.
there's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
it definitely works.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, having that, they're like throat lozenges. They're quite expensive. You get them from Boots, but they are
Mm.
phenomenal for your throat. It keeps it kind of, we would say, lubricated, right? That is the word I use because it definitely keeps you from drying out your throat and getting you to that them moments where you just can't say anything. Like it keeps you through the day. And I took it to that Stoke LAN. One of the other casters tried them. He was like, "Oh my god, can I have another one of those?" Because they are helping me so much, especially
Yeah.
over like the 12 hours that we were there. And yeah, they're just I live and swear by them. The wife used them for singing because she's a singer,
Hmm. Right.
and always had them before she got going. And I was like, you know what? If I'm going to be chatting just as much as you're singing, I'm always using the vocal cords, and let's keep these vocal cords warmed up, and that is pretty much what they can do. So it's great. look into them. Like
Yeah.
you'll there's different flavors as well. You don't have to stick with the natural flavor. I think the first flavor's aniseed vibe, so I
Mm.
quite like it. But there's like a black currant and everything as well. If you're not a big fan of aniseed, so.
Might have to branch out. Might have to try this. But I've never thought of like having something like that. But it makes so much sense. Like now that
Yeah,
you're saying it,
definitely.
it just makes so much
Water helps,
sense.
but it's not as good as a lozenge. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, that does make so much sense. It's kind of why have I never thought of this? Why have I never heard anyone else doing that? No, that's I see the vision. I'm gonna try the vision. Probably I'll bring it to LAN. We'll try
Yeah,
the
you know
vision
what?
on LAN.
I will have one with me when it
Hmm
comes to SAL, right? And you can try it, and you'll probably be like, "Oh, actually, they're quite good. They're worth it." I might
Just
have to
gonna
try
have the
it with you.
best cast.
Yep, you'll feel the best, the easiness of the throat, and it'll just keep going.
Hmm
You'll be all right.
Sounds great. I'm excited to see how it works. I don't really have a precast like ritual. I've tried things. I don't know. Nothing sticks for me. I just kind of sit down and like I'll kind of look at the camera straight on, and then I'll just kind of like I don't know. I just like move a little bit. I just stare and I
Yeah,
hope that I'm working and I hope that I'm natural in
that's. I think
conversation.
that's the hard thing I find, right? Is always looking at the camera, right?
Oh,
When
I
I'm
suck
on
at it.
screen.
Yeah.
Like I feel like when I look at the camera more, I blink more, which is so weird, but
Mhm.
I blink more. I feel like I'm thinking about that all the time, so then I just it throws me off a little bit, and sometimes you can see yourself, which it makes it a little bit worse. So
Mhm.
you're just like looking and blinking. But what was the way to say there? Because of like like when I'm casting some games and you've got a little bit of time, sometimes I'm always watching because I've got like multiple monitors set up and stuff like
Yeah.
that for it. Sometimes beforehand, when I've got a little bit of time, I'll have another esports that's probably up because most of the time, let's be honest, there's an esports that's live somewhere on one of the Twitches or
Mm.
on YouTube or whatever, and I'll be sitting watching it. I'll be listening. I'll be watching kind of what they're saying, listen to what they're saying, make sure I'm taking some mental notes in my head just to kind of give that same vibe back that everybody's used to hearing. Not that I want to copy, like would never
Yeah.
want to copy, just want to be me and put my personality across there, but always mixes up like the vocabulary because like I'm always using like I used to watch back the VODs a lot and
Mm.
you hear yourself saying the same word over and over again and multiple times and you're just like, right, I need to cut that out because I don't want to be hearing that back and forward all the time. But you're always going to have the kind of one thing that you work on, and then once you get used to changing that up, finding different words, and then move on to something else, you realize you're doing a little bit more. So like I think watching back has been a scary thought, but also helps you practice and get better as well, like as an individual, because it is like it's horrible hearing yourself back, and I'm
Oh,
pretty
it's
sure
yeah.
everybody feels the exact same. And you're just like, yeah, I don't know why anybody listens to me and why anybody thinks I'm good. It's like, wait a minute, what? Like, but yeah, sometimes it definitely helps you as a caster, and especially if you're doing like a review and you've got like a duo, which I don't currently have either,
Mhm.
which is probably the hard part. Like having a set duo, probably you got back and forward, you can forward review each other and critique each other and constantly work on it, and then get a synergy between you, which this year, I'm hoping for Call of Duty at least. I'm looking to work alongside Zep Cass. I don't know if you've seen him. He casts
Oh
quite a
yeah,
few
yeah. I've
games
seen
on
a little
YouTube.
bit.
Yeah, he's the Irish lad himself, and he had the Called Ireland LAN that he hosted
Right.
not that long
Okay.
ago. That was asking for that, but I was actually meant to be there, but they weren't sure if it was going to go ahead or not. So then I had to
Mhm.
cancel all my flights and such like, and then all of a sudden it went ahead. I was like, oh god, it could be another live event and seeing people, but yeah, he's a good lad, and we're gonna like he wants to take it. Like this last chance, he's been doing it for a while. He wants to make sure he's like settling himself down and getting into like a set duo because he's not been in a set duo for this whole time as well. So we're like, right, if we can set ourselves as a duo, we'll get practice in. I think our first cast properly will be this weekend coming.
Mhm.
We're doing an American TPC cast for their Premier Circuit is called, and that's like their champs pretty much. So they'll be casting. We'll be casting from home, but we'll get to cast together for the first time for Black Ops 6. Probably the last time for Black Ops 6 as well because
Yeah.
Black Ops 6 is around the corner. So at least we'll get ourselves in the swing and then look for to kind of get more kind of jobs together where we can practice and learn from each other.
It's so hard to kind of like find a duo. I don't know, like obviously once you get to the tier one scene, you have your duo. It's set, but for us, it's so hard to just find a duo, especially when like you're not putting all your eggs in that one basket. For like obviously you do COD,
One
Apex,
game.
and Rocket
Yeah.
League, like you're not gonna have a set duo for all of them. So then you're gonna have to find one for each title, and even then, you might not get paired up with that duo for all your cast. It's kind of for us, it's kind of down to like the I don't know if you've had the sort of similar situation, but it's I'm the tournament organizer. I know like a lot of things I've done, like God, NSE sort of stuff. That's just, hey, you're getting paired up with this guy, and luckily like I've casted with him before, so the synergy is kind of there. But you don't get to be like, hey, look, if you want me, great. Can you bring on this person who like I'm great
Yeah,
with? You're just kind of thrown in there. Yet this is the person you're casting with. Go play
exactly.
nice, sort of thing.
That's yeah, that is definitely a really hard part of the amateur level and kind of
Mm-hmm.
building yourself into the scene. Is that even if you've got a duo, getting yourself jobs together is very difficult. Like for Apex, for example, me and it's me Ben B were doing the Apex Summit, which also Hodge was doing as well. So Hodge was casting a lot more with golds, as he mentioned in his shoutcast. Is yeah, he was pretty much working alongside him the whole time. I was working alongside it's me Ben B, and we started slowly building a synergy. We've had a couple of seasons of it now. We're getting into it, and I seen Broadcast GG post a tournament up about an American one, and I was like, Ben, do you want to work together on this and see if we can get the job? We applied for it. We put a wee bit in with little snippets of what us working together, and it got back and Ben had got the job to be the color caster and they'd already hired a play-by-play caster. And I was like, oh, that's good. And I was just like, just out of curiosity, Ben, do you know who the play-by-play caster is? And he mentioned it was Big Rich. And I was like, I know Big Rich. I've seen him in the scene quite a bit for Call of Duty. Most of the time, he's barely did Apex, which is his first time doing Apex. I was interested by that one, but I was like, oh well. But then Ben was like, look, why don't we have three of us? And we'll reduce our costs and we'll bring Mark in, and then we have all three of us. We'll switch between each other, and Mark will be the host, and they two will cast the first couple of games. Then I'll come in to kind of give one of them a break, and then we'll swap, and we'll get another one a
Yeah.
break, and then they'll continue again. So it was like, yeah, that's a great idea. So we got involved with that, and it's quite a big tournament, right? I can't lie, I had pro
Mm-hmm.
Apex teams in it, so I was just like, wow, this is pretty mental. Like it's £10,000 on the line every week for 4 weeks.
Jesus.
It was just it was phenomenal, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had like 100 Thieves in there, we had Twisted Minds,
Really?
TSM. It was like they're pro players as well. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't just like a thrown together TSM team. It was like Jen Burton, it had Panic Apex, it had like names that you know in the scene if you're
All the
watching
big
the
names.
so I was like, this is nuts. Like I'm watching the casting of these. Some of these other teams were like CC teams, so they're working into trying to get their pro. A few of them did
Mm-hmm.
eventually get into the pro league this ALGS as well. So yeah, it was really good. We were getting obviously we got paid for it. We got sponsorships that they have, which was OBSpot. Funny enough, that's one of their sponsors, DX Racer, and I think the other one was Netics. And speaking of which, I got a Netics controller for them as well. And you know, we got to build it and ask it like get exactly the way we set it up and stuff. So me and Ben got sent out a Netics controller. So I mean, that's one of the plus sides, I guess, of working with people that are working with brands and stuff is you get the chance to showcase the brand, obviously, for them,
Mm-hmm.
but also you get something yourself as well, which is fantastic. And then that's kind of how I got into spot on more about OBSpot. I already had an OBSpot camera anyway. And I was like, you know what? I've done a lot of advertisement stuff for you guys. I'll try and reach out to them. And then before you know it, I'm part of their ambassador side, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Because this is just a short period of time. And at my age in esports, I'm like, how long have I got to last? I know esports can go on, right? But
Mm-hmm.
what do we want to listen to 40, 50-year-old man sitting there listening and speaking about casting in Call of Duty or anything like that, right? It's going to be a time where it will end. But the more I kind of reach out as quickly as I can, as I was like, right, the only way I'm going to do this is by reaching out and
Yeah.
getting opportunities and trying to make myself known in a way for the short period of time I could potentially do it for. So
Mm-hmm.
what that was like phenomenal just to cast over some pros, which doesn't happen very often at the amateur level, or it's just getting into the scene and just getting into kind of casting. So I was really like gobsmacked and got to even have an interview with Kimchi as well, who was part of Fusion as well. So that was good.
Oh, that's nice. I've always wanted an Obspot. They're so cool. They're so nice. They're like, I don't
Use my
know.
code MarkOfGee at the
Oh,
checkout.
I might get a cheeky little discount. Get a little bit of commission, help out a fellow caster. No, they're so nice. Like I
You
just
know what?
want
They're
one. They're
so
so cute.
inexpensive as well. Like
Mm-hmm.
strangely enough, for what they get as well, I was surprised at it because I've had a Logitech C920 for
Mm-hmm.
God knows how long. Like does its job. You've got the like right lighting set up. You're all right. The camera's perfect, right? It does its job, right? And then I
Yeah.
got the light for a birthday present from the wife, and I was like 4K. I actually didn't have it turn on 4K for like the majority of the year, and I didn't realize where the set that there was a setting for it. Like, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh. God, it's not. I just thought it was naturally going to be that, and
Yeah.
it was sitting at 1080p the whole time. I was like, I was just using the same as my Logitech, but then I changed it, and I was like, this is phenomenal. The tracking and stuff, and then yeah, it's crazy. And you even get like just the small, like there's a Meet too,
The mini
which is about
one.
that
Mm.
size, like a wee square one. Yeah, this one here, it is so
Oh.
small. Like it gets in three colors, but it is tiny, like tiny, and it's the quality on it is unbelievable for just like a small kind of
Yeah.
square. I'm like, wait, since when were they able to do something like that? It's amazing. But yeah, 4K AI controlled as well, and it's such a great camera. It's very much
Technology, huh?
worth the spend. But I think it's about £90 for the Meet 2 or something. It's not even that much, which
Yeah.
is quite crazy.
For like a camera that's that cool and like it tracks you and everything, like it zooms
Yeah,
in, zooms out, like that's crazy. I wish my Logitech Real would would do that. That'd be sick. Sure, Logitech isn't a bad company either. I think their cameras, their headsets are really nice. I've never had one, but they look so comfortable. I'm a big Steel Series lover. I almost everything I own Steel Series, the headset, the microphone, the whole shebang. But maybe I do need to start, trying different brands. I'm always like curious as like a caster what people use for their microphone because I'm like, oh, the SteelSeries Alias, I love it. But then, what do you have? Is that like a Shure?
It's a sure. It's a sure. It's
Mm-hmm.
not the big one. It's not the big SM7B that everybody wants to go to because it is phenomenal, the SM7B, but it's quite price taggy. And obviously getting into it, this is another present for a birthday present, funny enough. But yeah, I've got the Shure MV7X, I think it's called. So it
Yeah.
is still a condenser mic, but it's just not got the same like qualities. I do have the 7B kind of padding part of it added to it because it actually gets it further away from like the actual mic source
Mm-hmm.
so that you're not getting all the different background noises and all the pops and stuff as well that you would
Yeah.
normally hear when you're using your P's and Q's and such. So yeah, it's a phenomenal mic, but you obviously need to have like a desk to work with and stuff. But apart from that, it's been phenomenal. It's a good mic to have, and I invested. Well, I say I invested. The wife had these in-ear monitors, which I was like, I am getting fed up of using a headband and having this hair increased in the top of my
Yeah.
head. I think I'm going bald up here. I swear I
Mm-hmm.
can't. I think she was like, "You're gonna have to stop wearing a headband. You're going a little bit bald." And I was like, "No, I'm just getting old, right? Just remember, I am 34, 35 in like 2 weeks. Well, a month's time actually, and
Oh.
I'm going to go bald at some point, right? Maybe not, but hopefully not. I don't want to. I couldn't imagine having no hair anymore. Like I've had hair all this life, and I always want to do something with it. So
Mm-hmm.
if I was bald, it'd be a bit like I have to get one of them toupees. Have to get one.
Yeah. A
Give
trip
me
to
keep that
Turkey.
confidence. Yeah. Yeah, you get these ones that you stick on and glue on now. That you
Mm.
don't even know. They're unbelievable. Yeah, set you back quite a bit of money, like, but
Yeah.
definitely worth the investment if it keeps your confidence, right?
Yeah, especially like if we're in front of a camera. Oh, I'm balding. Let's put on the
Yeah,
toupee quickly. No, I feel
yeah.
like at the ripe age of 19, I feel like I'm balding so fast. Like you can't see me, but I do have a hat on to cover the horrible hairline.
Kinda, yeah.
I'm balding. Like the thinning is crazy. I wish I had beautiful, luscious hair. Like look what you can do with it. It sticks up
Still,
perfectly.
just
It's so nice. My hair just like I'll get the back and everything grows fine. It's great. I can go to the barber. It's nice. And then the front just does not want to grow. I tried to like rock this horrible mullet thing, and like the back beautiful, the front so like just did not work at all. It was so
yeah.
stubborn, didn't move, and I was like, yeah, no, this looks silly. Let's just shave that all off. It's summer anyway, so I have an excuse to kind of do the buzz. But yeah, I mean, being in front of a camera, you get so like I don't know about you, but you get so like camera shy. You start to feel like, hey, look, this is what I actually look like. Oh my god! And then I'll look at photos of myself from a cast out of LAN. I'm like, God, that's like how
Mm.
people see me. That's crazy.
Yeah. I know it is crazy. Like, but yeah, I kind of try to always make it an effort with it so that it doesn't look that bad. But
Hmm.
you can never tell. Sometimes it's sweaty in your room, and especially when it's humid as it has been this summer. Yeah, you get to a stage where your hair doesn't stay up for long. It
Hmm.
starts falling into your eyes. It's just like, oh, I look a mess now. Every single time you get a little bit of break during the game, you're like trying to sort your hair out, trying to sort your face out, trying to stop the sweat from dripping down your eyes. Like,
In the
yeah,
bathroom, quickly doing it. Like,
yeah. It's like, sorry, I need to take a quick break. Can you keep this cast going and forget that I'm not here, right? For just a moment. But
mhm.
yeah, it's something else. It's an experience to say the least.
Yeah, it's a unique one. But kind of speaking on last sort of question, I'll let you get on to the rest of your night, of course. But speaking on that sort of topic of like being in front of a camera and stuff, FaZe is coming up. Now, if people don't know what FaZe is, the lovely folks at Arena Esports, they are hosting the first sort of esports. Well, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like an esports sort of.
Exhibition.
That's the word. An exhibition in Scotland, the first of its kind here. And well, yourself will be. I believe you're hosting the. There's a live LAN going on there. Is this like
Yeah,
your
so they'll
first
be doing.
host?
I technically probably, yeah, in terms
Mhm.
of like hosting, it would probably be the biggest thing anyway,
Yeah,
especially with being in Murrayfield and
massive.
a lot of things. Yeah, it's obviously not going to be in the stadium, sadly. Like
Mhm.
imagine that big stadium and I'm the front show of everybody. It's not going to be a Robbie Williams concert. Sadly, I'm not going to be throwing my voice to thousands and 20,000 people, but you never know. That'd be an interesting scene for sure. That would be nerve wracking, I think, but
Mhm.
it is going to be interesting in terms of hosting, presenting. I'll get to do some interviews with different people, players and stuff like as well, and yeah, we'll be casting some Rocket League as well with the teams that are involved, which is good. So I think there's meant to be a little bit of a rugby 2025 as well, getting
Yeah.
played well with some potentially local rugby teams, which I play rugby myself. I'm trying to get
Mhm.
my team to kind of throw players into it. But it's like blind eye, everybody's working and their weekends, or if it's a Saturday, Sunday, for example, people are either playing rugby on the Saturday and then recovering on the Sunday. They're not going to
Yeah.
get out of bed at 8 o'clock in the morning. So a lot of the players are like, I don't play games or I don't do this. But yeah, it's interesting to see if there's going to be teams in that, maybe even some professional players from the likes of Glasgow, Edinburgh, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Supposedly could potentially be there as well to kind of put on a wee little spectacle for us as well to watch, which would be an interesting one as well. As being a rugby fan, I'd like to meet them. It'd be almost like, oh well, this is some of the players I like to watch as well. So whether they're good at the game is a different scenario, but they're definitely good at rugby, that's for sure.
Yeah. No, we'll see it when we're there, I suppose. Now, FaZe is like, I'm so intrigued by it because obviously it's the first like thing in Scotland that's going to be like an esport exhibition. I think it has so great potential, but also like
Yeah,
has this massive risk of just not working out. And I really hope it works out because it'll be a great thing for everyone to look forward to yearly, right? Going over and seeing all these talks from esport pros. You have like a G2 Valorant coach gonna be there, so like a proper like professional folk that are gonna be
yeah,
there. So it's got all the sort of the it's got all reasons why it should work. It's just will it turn out to work? I hope so. It definitely
fingers crossed.
will sort of give Scotland that like yearly thing to look forward to, and
Yeah.
it's going to be great for esports. And hey, if you're doing the first one, might be brought along for the next couple of years maybe.
I just need to put on a show, right? That is it.
Mhm.
I need to show what I can and can't do, and obviously put on a good show. But have you noticed as well? Like I'm a little bit of an F1 fan,
I
and
was gonna say,
Lucas Blakely there, which is going to be interesting. He's a Scottish lad himself, and he was the F1 esports champion at one
hmm
point as for McLaren Shadow, which is it's great because I'd love to meet him as well. So hopefully I get a wee bit of off time where I can go and kind of see them and stuff, and get to learn a few other things around the whole phase and get to see some of these exhibitions and stuff that are going on, and just kind of get involved as much as possible because it's definitely once well, I would say love to say it's a once in a lifetime thing. It's not like I'm hoping it's more than once in a
yeah.
lifetime thing, but like some of these people might be there for the first time and the only time. Like you never know, but
hmm
yeah, it'd be great to kind of meet all these different people in the scene in esports in different capacities, which is going to be fun for the spectators, fun for people coming to watch, coming to get involved. And if obviously with FaZe being working alongside like the guys at Arena who were doing this Fortnite tours and stuff like they were doing the boot camps and stuff like that. Hopefully that's kind
Yeah.
of the name out there a little bit more, so more esports scene stuff kind of gets done, and it's good to always try and build on what could be massive in Scotland for the esports scene. So fingers crossed it does have a very good day and a whole weekend goes to plan and kind of gets the advertisement out there as much as possible. I've actually sponsored by FaZe for my
hmm
rugby enough because of
Ooh.
we want to get the name out there, so we got to get a phase sponsorships for my
hmm
club. That's cool as well. So they're also trying to put the name out there, and I have to gonna have to get my name, the phase printed logo onto my some of my training tops, just to keep the name out there, so that hopefully it grows and grows and grows and becomes a big thing in Scotland.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm so excited for it to see how it goes. And Cell as well, that'll be something great. Of course, by the time this comes out, Cell will be just around the corner. If I stick to my strict schedule for this, I was 2 days late on the Puffle Bob one, but hey, retail calls, retail calls, and you forget what time is. But yeah, hopefully when
You're
this
like,
comes out, we'll be casting. I think it's the weekend after. Maybe am I looking at the
I don't
date
know. I
right?
don't know when are you coming? When are you posting it? That's the question. I don't
Ooh,
know.
this would be in a week time. This would be Sunday the 31st of August. So
Yeah,
yeah, it
so
would
the
be
exactly a week. Well, it'd technically be 6 days afterwards. We'll be casting at the LAN event. So
mm. So I mean, hey, anyone watching, in 6 days time, you can come catch us live on I don't even know, is the Twitch just
it's
Cell
on
Invitational?
Sports. Yeah, it's
Mm.
Twitch and Kick. So it'll be live there for it as well. But sadly, they're not having a live audience this time out because yeah, just all the kind of bits and background and obviously the kind of I don't know what the word is for it. There wasn't obviously enough people kind of wanting to come along to do
Yeah,
it in the
not
first place.
enough
Short notice and stuff
engagement.
for people. So the engagement, yeah, was a little bit lower than they expected. But hopefully, because it's the first one that's
Mm.
kicking back into it, hopefully after that it then builds again in SEO. You see a more regular occurrence, and you get to see like spectators involved and vendors and such like. And that could be a massive event as well, especially for the boys at Dundee and Angus College who are organising it. And obviously, girls at the ladies and boys as well that are doing it as well, because it's all student run, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, it's great to see like students getting all these opportunities to do such things like this and create major events that could kind of keep going and become really big in Scotland.
Yeah, hopefully. That's what we're hoping for. We're hoping that the Scottish scene just flourishes and grows, and even are trying to do that. And hey, they're giving myself the opportunity, they're giving you the opportunity, and plenty of other folk as well, the students like you mentioned. So Scottish esports, it does have like it has a hopeful future, if you will. But
Yeah.
I mean, until sell. That's gonna be us, I suppose. Hey, we yapped for a while. We yapped for almost an hour now. Oh, we're big
Almost.
yappers. Supposedly
Did
that's
you
our
know?
job.
Did you notice there was an announcement for a Nations Cup as well? Though
I
that's nice to
did.
get
I did see
Scotland on the
that.
scene.
That
Get
could
a
be.
Scottish teams for all these different games as well with the Nations Cups every 2 years. So hopefully
Hmm.
you guys at Dundee College and all these other esports scenes in Glasgow and stuff like that, they could get some of the top Scottish players involved and hopefully you could get some good teams out there.
Can on land, but
Nice
this
to
time it's
take part of
nations.
that. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be. Oh man, I'm so excited for it. Scotland's gonna go crazy. Hopefully, if the future flourishes like it should do. And well, Mark, I suppose as long as we have like yourself and like everyone else in the Scottish scene, all the other brilliant casters, as long as all these people stick together and help each other out, it's gonna flourish. And that's just so
Yeah,
good about Scottish esports. The community is incredible. But I mean, thank you for joining me. It's been a very long yap. It's been a
absolutely.
great yap. It's actually our paths have always like kind of crossed, but we've never actually
Never,
just like got that.
never.
What is it? The final puzzle piece, I suppose. We've never actually
Yeah.
properly
I
crossed
think we were
paths.
actually down to cast together at one point, but you weren't
Mm,
able to make it, or it was vice versa. And yeah, I was like, oh, because like the first one of the first few people I'd noticed and actually watched their caster rule. Funny enough, was just like you know, I was just
oh,
like, oh,
flattered.
Scottish. Hold on, that's great, a Scottish caster. And I was like, wait
Mm.
a minute, I didn't. And then I was like, wait a minute, he's even closer than Scotland. He's literally on my doorstep. Like, wait a minute, this is
Could literally
nuts.
be neighbours and we don't
Yeah,
know.
I know you might actually be living next door. Are you
We're
next door?
gonna we're gonna have to discuss this. Oh, we're not doxing ourselves on
well,
the on this
well, that
Shoutcast
was like
stories.
I don't know, you were part of Caledonia Esports as well at
Mm.
one point, weren't you? So like I kind of got into that, and Aaron didn't even realize was in Dundee as well in Dundee
Yeah.
College, and he was part of it Caledonia, and I was like, right, okay, there's I guess because it's Caledonia Esports, it's Scottish, right? So there's going to be some
Mm.
Scottish players, but not thinking there's going to be people at the same like doorstep, pretty much around the corner
Yeah.
from me and stuff like that as well. So I was like, yeah, this is pretty crazy. This is pretty cool to kind of network and get to know people locally as well that are doing the exact same thing I'm doing and in their own home. And just crazy enough to never cross paths before, which is it's fun. But we will cross paths
We
come
will.
next week, so we
Yeah,
will
we
get
will cross paths on
together for the
land.
first time.
That's gonna be fun. I'm so excited. But thank
Oh,
you
me
very
too.
much, Mark. Oh, I'm so excited for it. I'm ready. I can't wait. It's gonna be. We're just gonna give it a roll. I'm gonna have those like soother things that you mentioned. I'm gonna.
Yeah,
The
I'll
cast is
bring
gonna
them
be
with me
great.
anyways. So don't
Mm.
worry, they'll be in my pocket. You'll have them
I'm
ready.
so excited to
ready.
try the tricks from MarkOfGee. Oh my, I'm being taught. It's gonna be good. But thank you for joining me, Mark. It's been a
Thank
great, insightful conversation. I'm surprised it's our first, but hey, you know what? There are many more to come. So, I suppose final closing. Where can people find you? Is there anything that you're doing? I mean, apart from Cell, which will be in 6 days when this comes out, but anything that you're doing, anything you want to plug?
Just the Twitter. To be honest,
Mm-hmm.
well, I say Twitter. It's no longer Twitter. That's
Yeah.
an old school
Oh,
thing as well. X. You get catch me at MarkOfGee casts, and you also maybe possibly see me live here and there doing some casts on my own Twitch and Kick channel, which is just MarkOfGee, as it's written already across the screen. I'm sure below. So yeah, that's pretty much where you'd catch me there on YouTube as well. So yeah, anything like that if you want to get any more extra bits and bobs, just hit that name. It's pretty much the socials is the exact same for everything, so easy enough to follow. And yeah, I'm looking forward to SEL. So if you're watching live, you'll get to see me and Lecky both showing what we've got on that casting booth and showing you some very exciting Rocket League matches. So
yeah,
enjoy it.
I'm excited for it. Oh, it's gonna be great. Everyone better tune in. It's gonna be awesome. But once again, thank you for joining me. And next week, hopefully, we will have another guest on. Can tell you who it is. I suppose that keeps a suspense, right? That's the great part. No one's gonna know who's on next. But yeah, we will have another great caster join us next week. And until then, thank you, Mark, and thank you everyone for watching.